It's not a super, but the
Sentinel.
Sentinel. Thank you. The Sentinels football channel. Who is the weakest link on this 49er team?
Well, they rotate guards.
But John Feliciano's played pretty well.
He has played very well. I was thinking more about Burford. You know, once upon a time you would have said Ambry Thomas, but I don't think that's the
No,
case.
he's played really well. I like Ambry a lot.
Safety if Jair Brown doesn't come back. Interior D line if Eric Armstead doesn't come back, but you got Javon Hargrave. It's not anybody else on all. It's not a receiver. It's not a tight end. It's not a quarterback. It's not a running back. I mean, those would be the candidates, right?
Kicker.
Yes. Kicker. So
we haven't gotten your thoughts on the Moody man. What do you think? I mean, would you call Robbie Gold? Would you call Zane Gonzalez?
There's nothing you can do.
There's nothing you can do?
I don't think there's anything you can do. You cannot bring Zane Gonzalez in.
Zane Gonzalez kicked very consistently in the preseason, though.
Before getting hurt. You got to see. You got to find out, right?
I think going to ride with Moody. And
well, history tells us that kickers get better, right? It's why a lot of these guys get cut, and then you look up, you're like, oh, Daniel Carlson's one of the best kickers in the league. Okay, well, how about that?
That is true. That is true. Kickers typically do get better, and they're even wasn't Vinatieri, who's like a Hall of Fame type kicker, wasn't he cut early on? I think he
was.
Have been.
By who?
He might have been
before he was on the Patriots.
Yeah, I think he did. I think he was. Let me look that up.
It's tough because when you're drafting a kicker, you're doing it, especially in the third round. You're doing it because you really need one. Like it's a desperate situation, and you're kind of going for it. And so all their kicks have all this pressure on them, and missing is just going to be part of the deal. But I'll probably do a video on this a little bit later, Larry. So I want your opinion now.
Oh, that's right. You said you did a deep dive on kickers.
Yeah, and I won't bore you with all the numbers here, but I'll do a video later. But I want your opinion. Basically, I think a lot of people are getting wrong what the issue is, and I had multiple people text me this yesterday. Well, Robbie missed a handful of kicks last year, Gold, and look at Justin Tucker. Justin Tucker misses kicks. But the problem is not that you miss a kick. I think the thing that scares people, and I think it's appropriate, I don't think it's an overreaction to be on edge when Moody steps up at a big spot. It's that when you miss, does it feel like you know how to fix it immediately or not? And Moody has now had 2 games this year, the Cleveland game and this game against the Rams on Sunday, where he missed twice in the same game. Well, Tucker has not missed twice in the same game this year. Robbie Gold did not miss twice in the same game last year. And that is really the issue. The issue is not, do you sometimes miss? The issue is, when you miss, is it a fluke or is something happening that you have to fix? And then can you fix it on the fly immediately? That is the heart of what I think that is the verbalization of what you feel when you watch Moody. Remember the Cleveland game when he missed the game winner? He'd already missed a kick in that game. That was deep. It was a 50-yarder, fine. But what made it so terrifying the other day was it felt like the preseason where he missed the field goal week 18 against the Rams, and then 5 minutes later misses the extra point, right?
Right.
That's what made it feel like, does he know how to fix it? And that is the heart of the issue. It's not, don't give me percentage makes or whatever. It's that. If he misses a big kick in a game, it happens all the time. You run the guy out, he makes the next one, right? Like most of these guys, they miss a kick. That's the one they miss that day.
Right.
And with him, he hasn't missed that many. So credit to him for that. But you do worry, to say they come in bunches would be dramatic because he hasn't missed enough to say that. But that is actually the concern. It's when he misses, is he going to miss again, or does he know how to fix it and correct? Because it felt like the other day, Not only did he not correct, he missed it the same way. And he's made plenty of kicks that look kind of like the misses, where you go, it starts kind of middle and then goes and yanks to the right. Right. And you're like, is the alignment on this car off? Like what is going on here? Right. And that's what it looks like. It's like a car without power steering sometimes. It's
and how do they help him? I mean, how do they help him? I mean, the thing is they were like
nobody
29th.
knows anything, Larry. Nobody knows anything.
Yeah.
Nobody can help you.
Like they were 29th in field goal attempts. So they tried to protect him as much as they could. Heck, Brock Purdy has almost made him obsolete, how good he is in the red zone. If this were Jimmy Garoppolo, we'd know a lot more about Jake Moody's competence right now than we do.
Maybe. I mean, Robbie had 32 attempts last year, but only 23 the year before. Moody had 25 this year. So it was, the year before. But you're right. They had less field goal attempts this year. But this is the scary part about being a kicker. Like, if you're a pitcher, you could actually go to the hitters and be like, hey, what are you seeing? Oh, you're kind of tipping your curveball. If you're a quarterback and you're struggling, you can talk to the receivers. Like, hey, guys, let's get on the same page here. You spend all the time in the world with the punter and the long snapper. And neither one of those guys have any idea. Like, they have an idea, but they don't do what you do. Oh, well, maybe I'll talk to the holder. He's the closest guy to me. Who's the holder? Oh, it's Juszczyk. He's over there with the receivers and the running backs. Like, you are on an island when you're one of these guys. It's tough. Like, no, there's a special teams coach. What does that guy do? He holds up the chart and it's like, all right, we're going to cover. We're going to come this way on this punt cover.
Right.
But he doesn't.
It's a middle return. It's a left return.
How about kick it through the end zone? How about that?
Yeah.
But
kick it through the back of the end zone.
He's not your kicking guru guy. That guy's in Australia somewhere. So I don't.
So we just pray. In other words, just say a prayer.
Essentially,
go down to the local church and light a candle.
It's basically it.
I mean, I hate that. It absolutely kills me.
Larry, what would you do? What do you recommend?
I'll tell you what I would do is I would hold a high profile kicker tryout and let him know that we're thinking in that direction, because the only thing that gets people right is when there's competition. I believe that this country was founded on competition.
Beautiful.
And
that's how everybody is.
I would have a competition and just say, hey, we're looking around, buddy. So you got the divisional round.
Arm around him and go, did you miss I didn't even see it. You missed a kick last week. Didn't even notice. Love you, bro. Slap him on the ass and get on.
That's what it sounds like Kyle's approach is.
It is what he's doing.